Good evening. This is the video newsletter for buysellshort.com for Tuesday, June 16th. Market down again today, another 100 points after yesterday's 200-point loss. We did look like we were going to rebound in the last hour, but the sellers really hit stocks that are in the last 30 minutes and especially in the last 10 minutes of the day. Not too happy about the close we got there. We're looking at the 15-minute chart, but let's flip over to the daily chart right now. We broke down below our breakout of late May, and as you can see, this is the first time we've closed, significantly below the 20-day exponential since this rally began. We've had brief dips intraday before, but this is the first close. I mean, we've closed almost 100 points below the 20-day exponential, which is not that great. Probably we're looking at a test of the 50-day moving average this week. That is at 83.33. And, that should offer us pretty decent support in this market. I'd be very surprised if we just keep falling, even though we were up huge and due for a pullback. Also, we've got all the talking heads on TV telling us to sell and not buy. And we've got window dressing coming up, so they're a little biased. They want the market down so that they can buy. We've got S&P rebalancing on Friday. We've got Obama coming out with his financial regulation info as well this week. So this sell-off on kind of low volume, except for the last half hour, looks to be a setup for a bounce back. The selling really accelerated this morning. You had Gasbag from CNBC come out and say there was rumors that the government was concerned about Citigroup not making it. Highly unlikely that government officials are talking to Gasbag on CNBC. Just more of the same old crap we saw over the last 7 or 8 months with them speculating stuff that never comes to pass, and they have no, responsibility to just throw crap out there and see what it does to the market. Flip back to the 15-minute chart. As you can see, we finally flipped into a bullish falling wedge. We've sort of been not having too many of these over the last couple of weeks during the rally, but now we're in one of these steep bullish falling wedge. Shorts are starting to pile into the stocks again. Probably premature in my opinion. Granted, we're not exactly loaded up on stocks. We maintain our high cash stance, but a bounce is inevitable. It looked like we were going to set up for one tomorrow, but then that last slam down in the last few minutes possibly sets us up for a gap down in the morning and then a bounce back. Breakout now, we're looking at 8,600, clear skies again to start loading up on plays. US dollar broke out as I called in the Sunday newsletter, and of course that is possibly one of the reasons they're using for selling the market. Oil has come down, commodity prices have come down, and they're blaming the dollar. When the dollar was selling off, they were complaining. Now that it's bouncing, they're complaining. They're never going to be happy on TV. SMH continues its sell-off as well. $21 is support now, uptrend line support, but it could peep down to the 50-day moving average that is at 20.37. So the likely area for them to move into is technology, but technology is still in a little bit of pullback. So we'll watch the SMH tomorrow. If we see a nice bounce on the SMH, then the overall market is set for a bounce. Let us jump into some stock plays. DSCO, monster winner yesterday. 50% gainer, huge volume. Also had a gap in after hours and then a nice open in the 130s, and then it was just a slow bleed throughout the session with zero bounces. Rarely do you see that, but still like the chart. The setup here, a big move, a retrace is not uncommon. Just look what SQNM did last week, did the same thing. We should see some greenage on this one tomorrow, and then if we get positive news, then it's off to the races again here. But, very nice winner. This is why we book half plus gains whenever we have big winners. Then we can add back with the house's money and go from there. If the stock drops below $1, we'll pick up our full position again here. ASTM, this was a new alert today. Chart is setting up very, very nicely. Big volume spike early in the session that kind of tailed off as the market sold off. Breakout here is a confirmation of the breakout, is a close above 40 cents. It did that last month, and then they come out with that news of the death from someone who had taken their drug. Uh, wasn't linked to the drug, but they still had to stop the trial. Watch news come out. Actually, we had the same thing happen back here. The news came out that the debt was unrelated and the stock went off to the races. So possibly this is the catalyst. The chart says a big move is coming, so it's just a matter of what the news is. As I mentioned, it was a half position ad around 39 cents and under. If it dips to the 35 cents, we'll pick up the remainder of the position with stops at 32 cents. Nice volume today. RSI up over 50. Positive MACD cross. We've continued to have ADX, even though we had that sell-off, ADX has remained very, very strong on this one, and stochastics are trending up through 50. So this one is close to a big, big boom, just like DSCO is. So this is probably going to be our next big winner. So patience on this one. MRVC, this was a trading alert late in the day. Monster volume on this stock, down 25%. The reason, as I said in the alert, they've been delinquent in their filings. NASDAQ had given them an extension to June 15th, which is yesterday. They filed for an extension yesterday. No news on it yet, so we had some funds just run for the hills today. 30 million shares in volume, 26 or 27 million of it in the last 20 minutes. For every fund dumper, there was a fund buyer. News that they got the extension, should see this one snap back to the 50-cent area. If they do get delisted, no big deal. It's a steal. And, you know, it's funny to say this, but the stock actually might run to $1 if they do delist it to the OTC in a couple of weeks, just because that's usually what happens when stocks get delisted. Highly unlikely it gets delisted. Would look for news after hours or to morning that NASDAQ extended the listing on this one. ALTI, this one yet again proves why we went small into it. Frustrating play, should have taken off, but these alternative energy stocks kind of got hit today. Capstone, decent earnings after hours yesterday, but the stock got slapped around, and that kind of pressured all the other stocks, which is why we sent out that book profit alert on stocks like ACPW, etc. So, you know, support 90 cents on this one. If it bounces, possibly look to reduce or sell all at 1 plus. Should have gone by now. It may still go and maybe just tricking us and trying to shake us out. But the overall market, you know, didn't help, and the momentum has faded from that sector for now. We can always rebuy it if it breaks back up over 1. Like I said, ACPW was a nice 20% winner yesterday, but retraced today. Was higher today. Sector's hurting a little, still like the stock, and with BCON not breaking out like it should have, it was inevitable that these stocks were going to see a little pullback. Again, I keep hounding this into you guys on all our plays. Whenever they move, always be booking partial positions. You'll never go broke taking partial gains. So when you see those 15, 20, 25, 50% gainers, make sure you're booking some gains. Simple, simple, simple. Small gains add up fast. GNVC, nice bounce back on this one today. Got as high as 95 cents. Again, like XOMA, sort of got hurt by the market late in the day. This one's about to get a golden cross, so we'll keep an eye on this one. We should see it hold a 20-day exponential and bounce back, which it did today, so we'll see what happens tomorrow. Again, cautionary note, the Dow did break below or close below its 20-day exponential. This is the first time we've had it happen since the rally began, and we've been using the 20-day exponential as rock-solid support for RL plays. So if we don't see a significant bounce back in the Dow tomorrow or the day after, and we keep seeing sell-offs, then we're going to have to revisit using the 20-day exponential for stock plays as support and move it lower to the 50-day. That is it for the video. See you guys in the chat room tomorrow. Good night. Again, we're high cash stance right now. Any plays, small. Let's see what the market does, and, you know, hoard the profits that we've made over the last few days. And, of course, ASTM, I think we're going to get a very nice winner out of this one in the near term. See you guys in the chat room tomorrow. Good night.